All right, so what do we say? We were talking at work today and we all decided that if you are our age and don't have a you shit your pants story, you're a liar. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Saturday. I know there's no video. That was just up there for the time being because I had to sit my ass down in the chair. Dun, dun, dun. Greetings, world. It is Saturday, and yeah, I tell you, we came to that conclusion at work today that if you are our age and haven't had a I shit my pants story, you are a liar. A liar, I tell you. How the hell is everybody, Robert? You are moving the youngest out today. You were down in Austin. It's going. It's gone. House to yourself now. What's that gonna be like? Damn. It's gonna seem quiet. You won't know what to do. Not that extra body running around. Well, so Scepter, you're lucky, and then I'd be glad that you have never been that sick in your life. Do I have a I shit someone else's pants story? No, I do not. No, I do not. I have a somebody shitting their own hood on their jacket story. But what can you say? Greetings, Colin. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I see the first person a few hours ago popped in and said, hello, Kenny Clutch. We see you, we see you. We see everything. We don't know everything, but we like to think we do. But we see you. So, greetings and salutations to everybody that is out there roaming around, wandering through this world, daydreaming and going, when is this shit gonna be over? I ask myself that every day, and I don't know. It's absolute chaos. Though we do thrive in chaos, so you got to have a lot of fun. I've been sitting here bored and sitting at my desk and going, you know what? I got to get myself a classic style Rubik's Cube and see if I can finally mix it up and solve it. Never in my life did I ever finish a Rubik's Cube. That is my goal. I am going to solve a Rubik's Cube before I am 50. I just have to buy one. Yeah. Heading home Monday, woman. Oh, wow, wow, wow. I'm going to miss him. I would expect that, Robert. It is the last one. That makes you guys empty nesters. Get ready for them home renovation projects. They are coming. They're coming. There's going to be something. It's, that's usually the next move, isn't it? The last child is out of the house, and then all of a sudden, the wife is like, oh, we should do this, and we should do this, and I want to redo the backyard, and I want to change that. And Robert's just going to enjoy the fact that now he can sit there and he can drink coffee naked. And like in the backyard or at the kitchen table, not just in the shower in the morning when he's trying to shave and get ready all at the same time, which is quite the chore because that shower water dilutes your coffee and it's just not that good. Scepter. You get pissed at the Rubik's Cube and you have too many guns. Are you saying you've dismantled a few? Turned them into a clay pigeon? Oh! Dishes are done, dude. Yeah. Nope. That's my goal. I want to do a Rubik's Cube. I want to honest to God complete a Rubik's Cube. The first time I ever did it was, of course, I pulled all the stickers off, right? And I switched it all around. And someone said, well, that was cheating. That was way too easy. So the next time that I straightened out and did the Rubik's Cube, I actually pulled all the individual pieces off of that center and snapped them all back together. And so, you know what? Finish a Rubik's Cube that way, motherfucker. I did. Pulled the corner and all them pieces off, and it's just that, that weird little, almost, shaft in the middle with all the angles on it, and snap all the pieces back into place. And yeah, Scepter turned a few into Lego. There you go. Get them done. Turn them into Lego. I turned a lot of clocks into a pile of parts. You know, we used to dismantle everything when I was a kid. Clock didn't work, take it apart. And then wind up ones, right? With all the gears and all that stuff. Yeah. But like, I want to know what makes it work. Why does it tick? Or actually, why is it not ticking anymore? Never tore apart a grandfather clock, though. Wish I had. But now, I would just like to have one. Just because. I miss the idea of going into someone's place and seeing a big old grandfather clock hanging out in the living room. You know, hearing that thing go doom. My aunt and uncle still have a cuckoo clock that goes off like every hour. Drives me up the wall. It technically goes up every half hour. Yeah, that's a big question, Robert. How many parts will it work without? See, I've always had a theory. When you dismantle something that has hundreds of parts or something and put it back together, if you don't know all the specifics and the perfect engineering that goes into it, you can put it back together with a rather large amount of parts left over, and that sucker will still work. But the professional that knows that it's not supposed to function without any of them could be missing one bolt, one nut, one screw, one gear, one spring, you know, a cotter pin, anything, and it will not work. So does it come to the idea that sometimes knowledge can cause you to fail a task because, you know, you're programmed to understand that you can't do that unless you do it exactly as it was laid out? Scepter, you got a pendulum clock? Nice. It broke. See, a lot of them do. They sit there and don't do anything. And he's trying to find someone. Do they even have like clockmakers, you know, stores that fix clocks anymore? Like, I find a hard enough time trying to find somewhere where you can take a watch in to get fixed and repaired. You don't have any real jewelers anymore, you know, that I find anywhere I go that actually can, you know, craft these things or take watches apart and put them back together. No, because I got one that needs fixing. And I find somebody that can, I'm going to take it in and get it fixed. You know, it doesn't work fully anymore, and it's a self-winding watch, so as long as you wear it, it should never stop. It was my dad's watch, so I want to get that sucker fixed. It sits put away for now, but see, that's a thing, Scepter. The guy you went to retired and closed his store. Yeah. And Robert, you're right. It is absolute proof that engineers overthink a lot of shit. I mean, come on, just look at a modern vehicle to think that engineers overthink so much shit. You know, it's too much. You find that some case in drawings when you're building. Sometimes they overthink. And you go, well, this would be so much simpler and easier to do. Why won't they let me? But here, I don't know about around there, but here, the damn engineers, when they design something, especially when it comes to a building, they get a percentage of the total cost of the project on top of their original fee. So they really pad shit, man. It's crazy. Now I want to... I'm a teacher, I don't think. You need that on a shirt, Robert, that you can wear to class. Right? You can, but instead of saying, you know, instead of I'm a teacher, you can say I'm the teacher. I don't think, because you're gonna actually wear it in the class, or just the I'm a teacher. I don't think, and wear it at school. You do. That's awesome. I like that. That's awesome. But I want to get back to this neat thing here with Scepter. You're talking about the guy you used to go to retired and closed his store for fixing the clocks, right? What is it with this stuff? A lot of these places close. Like we had the town I grew up in, they had an actual cobbler that did shoes, and he'd done it for years. I mean, I'd go there with my boots, my cowboy boots, all the time, and get them rehealed and soled and over, and he could fix any shoe and make it like new. It was an art form. He would custom make your shoes or boots if you wanted. You had to pay the money. And he had so much business that it would take, sometimes he'd go and it would take a few weeks before he could get to your boots. And the thing is, he was getting up there where he was going to retire at some point in time. And this is a shame these days. He was looking for somebody that was going to come on and apprentice under him. And the old way, and apprentice in the shop, get paid to work there, but learn the business, learn to be a master shoemaker. And nobody would do it. And the thing is, he's like, you come, you do this, I'm retiring 10 years. He wasn't going to sell them the business. He was just going to give it to them. If somebody went there and they were put in the time and they were going to learn this skill, this craft, he was just going to hand them over the entire business. And nobody wanted to. Nobody wanted to learn. I mean, I was already all busy doing what I do, but nobody wanted to. He couldn't get anybody. Nobody would wanted to learn. They thought, well, who needs to make shoes? Why would you want to learn how to make shoes? Nobody gets shoes made. This guy got a lot of business, especially when you're in farm country, cattle country, rodeo country. There are a lot of people getting their stuff prepared all the time. And on top of that, the guy's wife, she would do everything from sewing your shirts and pants and jackets to doing chaps for guys. It was an all-in-one kind of deal. But and what happened is he just ended up retiring and just shut down. So you lost another place where you could actually get something made. And then what? You got to go to a brand chain store where you get something of lower quality, something of lesser quality. A pair of boots that are handcrafted, but they're made by like prisoners in a Guatemalan prison or something, and you get them, they're made dirt cheap, shipped over and sold at Walmart, That's right. I got kicked out of Walmart once for saying that out loud in the store. I was looking at the shoes and I said, that's pretty good craftsmanship for a bunch of children. And the manager come over and told me I had to take a hike. What's that after? You think those days are gone? You had an old Mexican restaurant that was on diners, drive-ins, and dives and closed because the kids didn't want to take it over. Honestly, I do think that is probably those days are mostly gone. It's the same here with the farmers and the cattle ranchers and stuff. They're, most of the ones that are still doing it. Robert. Robert had an old Mexican. Was that down in Tijuana by chance when you were like 20? No, I'm just. No, but it's the same here because the average farmer here now and cattle rancher and that, they're like in their 70s. Nobody does it anymore. I mean, my cousin does, and his boy is going to take over the ranch when he's done. But for the most part, most of them, they're getting out of it. It's going away. And people want to know why frickin' beef is actually so expensive. It's because the herds are going down. The amount of cattle being produced is lower every year because prices go up, and the old timers are like, nobody wants to take it over. No one in the family wants to take it over. So they just sell off the cows, take that money and retire. It's a shame. We have no old world skills anymore, really. It's such a shame. It's just not something that happens. Everybody wants to do something ridiculous, You see, Robert, yeah, you have young people doing it, but it's usually generational. That's like my cousin, right? He from his uncle, from his dad, who from his dad, and then it's going to go on to his son. I mean, that's generational. They're Their ranch there actually got an award a few years ago as being the oldest continuous family run cattle ranch in the province here. So it's been going for a long time. Not only that, but they until recently had all the original houses still on the property. But they finally went away. But you don't have as much. There's not as many young people wanting to learn this stuff. It's too many people buried in tech all the time. Spoiled too many people. I think that's the real problem. We spoiled too many of them goddamn brats. Going to get them off my lawn. I'm tired of them all. They walk by the house and I just want to shake my fist out the window and yell at them. I'm allowed. I'm going to be 50 right away. I'm allowed. I can yell at random people when they walk by now. I need a rocking chair so I can put it on the front step, out on the stoop at the top, and just sit there and rock back and forth and yell. Maybe whittle some wood and, you know, get a good chunk of tobacco in there and chew away and spit. Local dairy mogul turned a lot of dairies into pot farms. Their line is dairy to dank. Oh, that's good. That's also bad at the same time. That's damn. Oh yeah, check it. There needs to be 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know what to do. The woman is home early. She started early, so they sent her home early, I guess. Oh, yawn. Maybe if they're listening, they'll fix the bed. I hate having to make the bed after. I hate messed up blankets on the bed when you're going to sleep. But besides that, how the hell is everybody? It has been insanely. Oh, listen to that. Apparently, I have the notifications turned up on my phone. Oh, and I bet you that was her. Oh, no. What'd you send me there, Robert? Nice. Dairy to dank. Reminder of what? Oh. I see that. Doot, doot, doot. Dairy to dank. And they even kept like the Holstein cow look, eh? That's that's interesting. That's that's interesting. So then I would be guessing that New Mexico was one of the states that made it legal or decriminalized or whatever it was. I don't know how that works totally down there everywhere. You know, too many different layers. Yes, too many different layers. Everywhere wants their own set of rules. I mean, it's been I don't know. What's been legal here for 4 years, 5 years now, nationwide, government inspected and controlled. It's really weird, and because of that, it's really weird. We will sit here, and they will make. You know, how you get food recalls, right? Like all this lettuce, particular lettuce, or salad already in a bag because it's got E. coli or listeria or some other thing because someone didn't wash it properly after they spread manure on the crop next door. Well, here we'll get that with pot products now. The government and the Health Canada, the federal health agency, will actually issue a recall for certain products. And when they do, it's usually gummies of some kind, you know, and it's usually gummies of some kind because they miscalculated or they put the wrong the wrong dosage of THC in the gummy. So so that is just I don't get how, you know, it's one state to the next. It's crazy. And yet I will bet you at least 20% of the state, even though it's not legal there, smokes it. You know. Oh, here too. I mean, the they've said that, and the simple fact is because a lot of people here still don't go to the stores because it is 10 times cheaper to get it on the black market than it is to buy it at the store. You know, no different than cigarettes, right? The black market for cigarettes here is absolutely insane. And it's because they're 80% cheaper if you buy them on the black market. You buy them on the black market, you can get them for as little as $3 a pack. Where you buy them in the store, they're as much as $32 a pack, depending on what province. So it's insane. It it would be cheap here, but a lot of people didn't start going like they thought. It didn't have this mass turn of people that decided they were going to go and smoke pot. You know, I thought the only chance that they maybe would have been more people at the edibles, but it took them so long. They still haven't even legalized most of the edibles in this country because nobody can agree on the doses and everything else that should be in everything. So they keep getting recalled, and then the packaging is absolutely ridiculous. Like, a person will buy one pre-rolled joint. It'll have more packaging than fucking shipping napalm. You know, like it's absolutely ridiculous. And why I compared buying a joint to shipping napalm, I don't know, but it just it's what popped into my head. You know. Sometimes you just spew shit without really thinking of the total end game. That's my age starting to show. You know, when you get that 50 line, you know what I mean, Robert? That's that 50 line when you get there, right? Your brain will sometimes just spew shit without thinking, and you can get away with it now because if someone says, "Oh, that ain't true," you can just like give them the finger. Like check this out. The other day, okay. We were sitting there and we were discussing. So we were eating and we were discussing something, and it had to do about cauliflower. Somebody at the store went and asked the kid if they only had the white cauliflower and not the other. And I'm like, I've never seen anything but white cauliflower. I didn't know it would come in a different different colors or anything. And then right away she grabs her phone and started looking up, and I'm like, put your damn phone down. It's called just having a conversation and trying to send them out. You can look it up after, but we're sitting at the table having a discussion. All I said was I've never seen more than a white cauliflower. But then she right away snatched her phone. She does that watching a movie too. We're watching a movie and she's like, well, what's this about? And then all of a sudden she's on her phone reading about the movie that she should be frickin' watching. Sometimes you just want to take kids and throw them from a bus. Did I just say that out loud? I got to remember to keep my inner voice inner sometimes. But you do. Sometimes you just want to take people and throw them off a bridge. Because they want to ruin the moment. That's okay. Colin, are you still out there? I've been waiting for your nightly weird kind of off the wall question or statement. I haven't seen one. It's kind of the thing. It just usually randomly just pops in there. But Agent Orange to take out the stupid wild vine. You got a problem with wild vine in your place? Have you tried everything? Man, I wish. We have a problem up here with the deer being all sick. You know, all the mule deer up here have that chronic wasting disease. And we had a lot of people from south of the border coming up hunting this year. And so, if anybody offers you deer meat from Canada, don't take it. The entire population of mule deer up here is just riddled with that chronic wasting disease. They're dying. They're dying off left and right. So don't take any deer meat from Canada if anybody come up here hunting in your area and offers you some. And it's not like a secret up here. Everybody knows. They tell everybody. Yeah, except there it is. It's exactly. It's like mad cow. It's the same disease, but it's in the deer population. It's the same thing. And when it gets in the wild population, there's not much you can do about it. You know, we got one of the, they hate when you call them that, but fish cops, right? Conservation officers, they're like rangers and all that stuff, right? They deal with all the deer and the policing and the hunting and stuff. They're basically, literally, I guess you could say, environmental police, because it's their job to police the hunters and the fishermen and all that stuff. And yeah, he was talking about how it's everywhere. They're dying off, and then we'll have to see. But the antelope are good. The antelope and elk and caribou up here, well, that is prime food. So, anybody and they come and they came and got antelope or elk or caribou. Just remember, caribou is reindeer, so eat it and enjoy. A lot of people don't know that when they come up and they see them that the other name for caribou is reindeer. But they're almost done. It got in them, and they've been doing what they need to try and keep it from getting into the domestic population, right? Rudolph was a drunk, Scepter. That's my theory. Rudolph was a whiskey drinker. That's why he had that big red nose, because he was always deep into the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. That's why Rudolph had that red nose. With your red nose, Rudolph was a whiskey drinker. But you don't see many mule deer around here anymore because of that. They track them is the best they can do. Here's a weird one when you talk about wildlife. Okay, half my life I spent growing up out here, and a couple years ago when I moved down this far south, I seen the antelope for the first time, because right where I live now is like the borderline. They don't go any more north than where I am. And I've never lived this far south, other than the year and a half I spent in the States. But I seen them, and I asked some buddies I was working with the one time, I said, what the hell are these things that look like antelope? And they just looked at me and went, antelope? I'm like, I guess that makes sense. Right? I mean, I had never seen them before. They're them little ones. The pronghorn is what they call them. I know they have them down there too, but they're just these little things, but we only ever see them in the winter. I don't know why. Oh man. So Robert, you're gonna head back on Monday. So that means you took some time off work to escort the kid out of state and make sure that he actually goes. You weren't just like you're getting out of my house now. You're like it's like you are getting out of the damn state and leave me alone. Gee, homie, you remember the promise you made to the kids? Sure do. When you're 18, you're out here. Ugh. Well, let's see. Huh. Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Ah. Is it really? It's a long weekend. I don't think we have one here. We don't have anything like that in January. No holiday. Interesting. Although I'm sure that today is a day something. You ever looked that up before? See what the date like? Hmm, let's see. What day is January 17th? Oh, it is National Hotheads Chili Day. National Lose the Jet Lag Day. National Use Your Gift Card Day. And the third Saturday in January is Popeye Day. Interesting. There we go. National Hot Heads Chili Day. So everybody, if I'd have known that, I'd have made chili today. Should have had chili. Interesting. They need to. Oh, it's also Benjamin Franklin Day today. Soup Swap Day. National Tulip Day. National Kid Inventors Day. They make something for everything. Jack, tomorrow's National Winnie the Pooh Day. Is it really? There's always something. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, apparently it's also World Religion Day. They need to not do that. I'm in with the National Hothead Chili Day though. That just seems like a good day. You know, burning mouth, sweating a little. You know, that sounds like a good day. Hmm. Yeah, January 18th, National Winnie the Pooh Day. Very, very interesting. Well, well, well. Every day is a day. I know, Robert. Every day is a day. Is there a Gen X day? Let's see. Let's see. You know what Gen X day is? It's fuck you day. That's what it is. Let's see. I bet you Gen X don't have a day. Well, son of a bitch. There is two. National Gen X Day is celebrated on June 16th, the day to recognize Generation X. There you go. June 16th. National Gen X Day. All right, let's go. Uh, I got to remember that one. When is that? Oh, come on. Where's my calendar? I had to bring up my calendar. Wow. You gonna see your brother for the first time on his birthday in 24 years? June 16th is Gen X Day. Or do you or you're just saying what day is X Day is in like X's? Damn X's. Here's the calendar. So that is a Tuesday this year. All right, all right. That gives me a long time to plan. I'm gonna see if I can get the 17th off as well and stay up and do a long National Gen X Day stream. That's a long time. National Gen X Day. That's awesome. I didn't know we had a day. This I want to know. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah. June 16th, National Gen X Day. Ah. There is not an official recognized FOFO day. There's not a recognized fuck around and find out day. And there should be. That should be the day that you're allowed to punch somebody in the face when they get annoying, you know. Oh, Robert, I'm shocked too. I absolutely did not think that there'd actually be a Gen X day, but it's June 16th. That's crazy. That's kind of awesome. Uh, but hey, let's see how many people in person can show up on that day, right? I mean, National Gen X Day. I think we deserve it, don't we? You know, even though we don't care about such things, such platitudes being recognized, honored, or acknowledged, but you will damn well respect us when we're walking down the street and you get out of the way. Don't you call us old or say, hey there, boomer. We're just liable to donkey punch you in the back of the head when you pass by. It's just a fair warning. You know, most of us are in that category now of carrying old man strength, so people do not want to get punched by an Xer, right? And those of us that worked with our hands for years, you got like them stone hands now, you know, that are permanently kind of half locked in a fist. There you go, Jack. Yeah, whatever. It should all, National Gen X Day should be followed up by whatever day. I don't care month. The who gives a shit's a week. Make it a whole thing and just all one right after the other. Or you can roll it all into one. Oh, but I found that interesting. You asked the question, we found the answer, and it surprised us all. Oh well. I will bet you this, that you will not see it mentioned anywhere when the time comes. Because nobody will actually remember. Nobody will say anything. And nobody, when it comes to the Xers, will care to even bring it up. Except for someone like me who now is going to plan to do a live stream that day just because it's ironic they're going to go live on Gen X Day to talk about Gen X and how we don't care about platitudes and being remembered and all that stuff. Because we do enjoy irony, right? We do enjoy sarcasm. We do enjoy a friendly round of insults. You know? But hey, I think it's kind of neat. We'll have to be there. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Had to do the old and then suck back the old nose. It was getting plugged. Oh, it's nice having that one-touch mute on the microphone. Don't have to look for a lot of shit. That fire's getting warm, I tell you. Yes, Robert, sarcasm season. Isn't that all the time, though? I mean, come on. When are we not sarcastic? You know. It's like having a gas station and people pull up and they'll be like, do you have gas? I'll be like, no. I'm just going to pump water into your gas tank. And I'm going to charge you for it. But it's okay because I'm only going to charge you gas prices. Water prices are 4 times that. So it's all good. You know, people come and ask, oh, do you have gas? You want to know what's kind of ironic? Up here we have winter washer fluid for your vehicle that is not supposed to freeze until like minus 40 Celsius. And we had some, and they put it in for people to wash their windows in the buckets outside, and that shit is frozen. So clearly we got some cheap Chinese substitute crap that is mostly water, because the antifreeze window washer fluid, the window is dirty, the window washer fluid, it's not supposed to freeze until minus 40 is frozen. And we have nowhere been near minus 40. And for those that go there not sure, minus 40 is the same, whether it's Celsius or Fahrenheit, it is the same on the scale. And beyond that, when it's no longer exactly the same anymore, it is still all the same. And that same is, it's fucking cold. But yeah, it's... Oh, I've said things like that. Like, no, I haven't had my, you know, Robert, instead of like, say, yeah, I had beans, I've said, no, I haven't had my lunch yet. Or, you know, things like that. Yeah, it gets that way here, Scepter. It was close to that. It occasionally we will get down to minus 50 centigrade. Right? So it's cold. You know, gasoline freezes, diesel trucks don't start. The one year it was minus 50 for 5 days here. It didn't get warmer than minus 50. And the SUV froze solid. We had to get a diesel heater and fire it up in the driveway and pump the heat underneath the car and at the engine for hours in order to get it warm enough and get the fluids warm enough that we could actually get it started. I mean, you'll start your car and it'll take an hour before it's warm enough to even put it in gear. It's so cold, you get up here what you call driving on square tires, and that is, it is so cold that the air in your tires is condensed so much they go flat while sitting in the driveway. So it's... And they stay that way until you start driving and you feel that flat spot. And then you start driving and the air heats up and your tires inflate to the right pressure. But it'll get so cold, your tires will go flat. Because the air gets so condensed in there that it's not until you're driving down the highway and your tires heat up and the air heats up inside that they become full pressure. So if you got a newer vehicle that has all the tire pressure gauges, they'll all be flashing and everything, and you'll be driving along, and then slowly as it warms up, you'll see them go off one at a time. It sucks. It really does suck. And then you get the wind. Right? You get the wind, and they tell you, you get warnings here where they'll say, do not go outside because you will die in under 3 minutes. It gets so cold that they will tell us not to go outside because you could die within 3 minutes. Exposed skin will freeze in under a minute and it'll be death in 3 minutes because it is so cold. And yet, you'll see people walking down the street, heading off to the lake to go ice fishing, getting on their snowmobile, you know, or just out there still shoveling and snow blowing the driveway. Spring will hit and it'll still be 20 degrees below freezing, and you will see people in a t-shirt and shorts and sandals, because after weather like that, minus 20 Celsius is freaking warm. And it really weirds me out because when I'll see people here in the summertime walking around in freaking winter jackets, you know. They don't very well. This is what I do know, Jack. One of the guys that comes all the time to the station to fill up, his daughter has a Tesla. Okay. She has a Tesla, and to drive to the city from where we are is 77 kilometers, so that's about 45 miles, right? And normally in the summer she can go there three times at least and drive around the city and come back on a charge. Twice for sure. In the winter, the battery is so cold, she doesn't know if she will have enough charge to even get there and halfway home. So, yeah, it's not good. You can't drive an electric vehicle around here. It's just not worth it. I mean, if you go to the West Coast there, where it's like you got the rainforest, you got that kind of like subtropical temperature where it doesn't actually freeze. Electric car out there, great, but here, no. It gets so cold that the batteries just, you don't have the range. You couldn't even drive to the city and back on a single charge. You have to charge full there again before you can attempt to come home. And that's real cold. I mean, I've seen them test them just in Michigan where it's like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It's barely below. It's not even cold really, you know. And yeah, like Scepter said, Tesla loses half its battery charge. And so you get up here when it's really cold. Like, and anybody that thinks that didn't realize that lives here will know that you can buy a brand new battery for your truck or your car here for the classic internal combustion engine, and that brand new battery will die from the cold. And it only needs enough cranking power to start your vehicle. So they do make special ones here that are, and sometimes they'll put them in the vehicles here and they'll have a special like blanket around them. It's like a battery warmer that keeps it up, right? Yeah, Robert, that they do. They merge, and it's minus 40 is the exact merge point where Fahrenheit and Celsius are exactly the same for that degree, and then it starts to split apart again. Scepter, you've had that happen. You've had the battery die in your vehicle because of the cold. It gets so cold the battery just doesn't have the power anymore to turn the vehicle over. Yeah. I don't know about down there where it's warmer, but up here, in the winter, your battery needs to, it's insane. They'll have 1,200 cranking amps on a 12-volt battery to try and get that starter going. And if it doesn't start the first 2 times, your battery's done. And then you just got to buy a new one, and that's an expensive cost in the winter. But hey. 2 years ago. Where were you that you went through that 2 years ago that it got that cold? Definitely had to have been further north. Or did it, or was that, or was that a couple years ago? Was that whole like frozen ice storm that swept through Texas? Or is that the one? Because it did get pretty cold there then, didn't it? Everything was freezing up. I remember seeing that. Was that 2 years ago or was that longer? But I remember thinking, man, it just that is a bad place for that to happen because everybody's not ready for it. That would be like having freak weather hitting like Florida and it dropping below zero all over, freezing temperatures for like 2 days. Half that state would die because they're all seniors that have no furnaces in their homes, you know, because everything's built with air conditioners. Jack, it'll start and it'll go, but it won't go very far. So it's not practical, not for the cost of the vehicle, that's for damn sure. I mean, I actually looked at the time of getting the Ford Lightning there when they were first offering it, but man, yeah. Okay, so it was. I guess that's 4 years ago now. Yeah. Okay, it was when Texas froze over there. Yeah, that that was brutal, man. I saw that. Like grid went down all over. They just were not designed for that freak weather. You know. But I was kind of under the impression that a lot of places down there don't even really get a lot of insulation because it's mostly hot. And so they don't want to do it, right? What's that, Robert? Yeah, they stole your electricity. Well, a whole whack of the grid went down, man. It froze up. That's they did what they had to do to get by. That had to have been a shock. There had to have been a lot of people panicking, a lot of people thinking that doom and gloom, that this is the end of the world. Because if you're in an area where stuff like that does not happen that often, I mean, shit. Well, it'd be like the first time someone sees a tornado come through their place, right? I mean, if you live around where they have them, it's not really that big of a deal. It's a windstorm. You might have to replace a couple buildings afterwards. But then you get a place, yeah, like Texas freeze, minus 30 Fahrenheit. That is ridiculously cold for down there. Ridiculously cold. I honestly don't know how they managed to do it. I really don't. But they did. I hope they made the grid stronger for the next time because it happened once. It's going to happen again. That is a guarantee. You're just not going to know when. But going to wind up turning and turn that corner and going to wind up going down to the old shit hit the fan scenario and prepping and everything else. And I tell you, that's been on my mind an awful lot lately. Oh, what was that? The windmill would have worked if they were winterized, but the company was too cheap, so they passed a state amendment where we, the taxpayers, pay the company for the winterization of the windmills. Ah. You should see how they thaw out them windmills when they're frozen. They dump buckets of jet fuel on them. It's crazy. Oh, because you're on the same grid at the hospital, so you don't get the rolling blackouts. That's a bonus, Robert. You picked a good place. You'll be you'll be the last one to get rolling blackouts. See, nuclear power is good. It's safe. I have no issue with nuclear power. They're actually going to build a reactor not far from where I am here coming up. They're going to start building small modular reactors here because they got to replace a lot of the old power plants. And the easiest way and the cheapest way and the for long term expense is, you know, What's that, Jack? You never want an electric car because they seem unreliable. I would not want an electric car. If you had the money to buy one and you lived in a city and you're in a warmer climate, an electric car would be handy and it'd be okay. You know. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you could. I did Scepter for a summer. Yes, it's actually yeah, Uranium City. There, two of the biggest things that they do around here is mine uranium and potash. I mean, they're currently constructing another $10 billion construction project on a new potash mine. Be the largest one in the world. And yeah, the Uranium City is way up north. They call it Uranium City, but they don't actually pull uranium out of there no more. You know, that's getting up north. It was, and it was cheaper to rent a plane and fly out the 4 hours and do your grocery shopping than it was to buy at the local store there because it was up north. There were no roads. It was fly in only. And there would be weeks if the weather was bad, they couldn't get anything in. It was crazy. Yep. And all the houses are still there. There's people just won't leave. It would be a hell of a place to go to if you were ever looking to start buying up a town. You get the place so cheap, but the government wants everybody out of there because it's so far north. They subsidize. You also hear a little known fact is you pay a lot less tax if you live that far north because things are that much more expensive. So you technically get what they call a northern living allowance. So there's a lot of background radiation up here, and it's because of all the uranium in the ground. In fact, the actual town I grew up in has an extremely high rate of cancer. And we've always figured it's because of all the uranium in the ground and the background radiation is unusually high. Like the guys that work at the mines here, they're regularly tested to see if they've had their fill because it's quite the thing. Oh, I'm absolutely sure it is. But there's a lot of things in the water. I mean, there's arsenic in the water naturally. So, oh, Robert, they wiped it off the face of the earth. New Mexico likes to hide things all the time, don't they? But before I get lost in the wonder here, I am going to wander off. I'm going to take off, and we can pick this up again next week. 4 a.m. comes early, everybody. I hate being the party pooper all the time on the Saturday. I would start even earlier and go 2 hours again, but we'll see. One of these days, I got to take a Sunday off or something. But I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to head out. Jack, it was great to see you. Scepter, haha. Just constant in today with this conversation, not wandering off, listening, doing other things. Robert, enjoy, man. I'm sure the ride home is gonna be a lot of passing tissues and tears to the woman when you're driving back tomorrow. So enjoy the drive, go there. It'll be the holiday will be coming up soon. He'll be home bringing his laundry, whatever, all them things to make her smile. And we'll see everybody again on next Saturday. All right, everybody.